Hello, hello, hello. Hey, Wing Chun, how's it going? Hey, Bravehorn, I'm glad to see you. Hey, Sal, how's it going? Oh, yeah, you're falling asleep? Oh, you went to Anime Iowa. That's cool. What's up, Losh? Nice of you to join. What's up, Disco Chixify? Hey, it's been a while. Uh, I am doing okay. What's up, Bigfoot? How are you doing? Hey, Rude Noise, I am glad you could join. All right. You guys ready for today's story? I have a feeling it's going to be an eventful one. But first, let's do some Wordle. What's up, Nikki? How's it going? All right. It's going to be quick, okay? It's going to be 1 minute. It's going to be so quick. Wait a minute. Oh my god. Okay, I got lucky, okay? Yeah, super lucky. That doesn't even count. You know what? Let's not count that one. That was like 10 seconds. What's up, Neko-chan? How are you doing? Yes, it is nice of you to join. Okay, Losh. That's so good. It was a record for Wordle for me. Have I ever gotten the first? I don't think I've ever gotten the first word. Stop. Let's see how long Samantha takes. All right. All right. Let's do this. Let's take 2 minutes, okay? Let's do it. Super. Super. Superman. Hero. Fly. Oh, okay. Bug. Plane. Sky. Freedom. Free. Cop. Sail. Oh. Hello. About a purchase. Buy. Uh, sell. Store. Building. Deal. Negotiation. Haggle. Acquire. Economy. Discount. One. Merchant. What's up, Side Duck? How are you doing? Purchase. Buy. Exchange. Market. Contract. Um. Invest. Owner. Oh. Buyer. Oh. How about a customer? Client? Buyout? Foreclose. Purchase? Win? Money. Money. Dollar. Purchaser. Okay. Buyer. Seller. Hmm. Yeah, store. How about store owner? Employee? Boss? No. Salesman. Okay. Door. Warehouse. Warehouse. Purchase. Cash. Clerk. Hmm. Okay. Buying things. We got exchange. We have invest. Advertise. Advertisement. Credit. Cash. Cash flow. Product. A purchase, a discount, a sale, something free was down there, I think. Commission. Bargain. Ooh, price. Prices. Low. Acquire, I think we try that. Get. Purchase. Steal. Market, I think we tried that. Sales person? Cost? Okay. Chip. Borrow. Loan. Oh, mortgage. Oh, okay. Lean. House. Home. Real estate. Mortgages. Okay. Uh, equity. Possum. Attic. Insurance. Insure. Tax. Taxes. Bankruptcy. Okay. A lawyer. Mortgage. Okay, mortgage is close. Mortgage is a loan. What else is there? A security. A deposit. Fiscal. Oh, property. Okay. Residence. Nope. Land. We got real estate. Real. Property. Mortgage. Land. Landlord. Oh. Tenant. Guest. Family. Rental. Ah, so good. Lush. Good job, guys. Hey, it was pretty fast today. I think Sal is sleeping, so she's not keeping time. That was pretty fast. less than 10 minutes, I think. Is it? Around there? All right. All right. Get some food. Haha. You can't really see it though. Gonna have to open it. That was fast. That was one of the faster Samantha. Yeah. What could this be? I have no idea. Is it crunchy? Seems like it. Let's see. Definitely not crunchy. It's a bit chewy, yeah. A little sweet. Tastes like something. I'm not sure what it tastes like. It's a little sweet though. Just a little bit. It's pretty good. This is a 7.9 out of 10. Yeah. Something flavored. The plant on my wall is like tubifex worms. Okay. I'm gonna look up what that is. Tubifex worm. Yeah, what the hell is that? Ah, something out of my nightmare. Yeah. Okay. Don't look it up. Something flavored. Okay, it's kind of nutty flavor. Okay. Some kind of nut. At least it doesn't look like bobbit worms. Okay, I'm gonna have to look that up too. Bobbit worm. Ah! It does not look like that. What the fuck? All right. All right, guys. What happened last week? So, you remember Bao Shi Ruo? She pulls from the wardrobe young Tiexin. Okay, and yeah, and she introduces Yang Kang to his father. Okay, and Yang Kang's like, "It's you," and he attacks him. Okay, and Yang Tiexin, he gets injured, but he takes Bao Shiruo and he runs off. Okay, Guo Jing meanwhile runs after them, but he's attacked by this Liang Zhu Wang guy, the guy who wants to drink his blood. Because remember, Guo Jing drank the blood of his snake that he's been raising for like 20 years. Yeah, he raised this snake for 20 years, hoping to drink its blood because it would boost his martial arts abilities. Okay, it boosts his internal energies. Yeah, Unfortunately, Guo Jing drank the blood first. Now he's super mad and he wants to kill Guo Jing and drink his blood. Okay, and hopefully it would boost his internal energy. So they're fighting. Guo Jing, he runs away, but he falls into this cavern. Okay, he finds out that this cavern is filled with human skeletons. Okay, skulls. And Liang Zuwang, he jumps down after him, but it turns out there's already someone down there. Okay, it's this woman, and she fights off Liang Zuwang, and he runs away. And Guo Jing thanks her profusely. This woman, she recognizes that Guo Jing, he uses the Chen Chen martial arts. Okay, that's the Taoist sect. So it turns out, we find out that she's Mei Chao Feng. Remember, she's Iron Corpse. She has that martial arts where she puts, where she claws your skull. Okay, she kills you. So she's down there. Turns out that's where she's been. And she questions Guo Jing about his masters. Okay, and she finds out that he learned from some of the masters of the Chen Chen sect, Wang Chuyi and Ma Yu. And she pulls out this dagger, okay? And it has the inscription of Yang Kang. Now, if you remember, it's the dagger that Guo Jing used to kill her husband, Copper Corpse, when Guo Jing was a little kid. Yeah, so she's still holding on to that dagger. And if you remember the origin of this dagger, in the beginning of the story, Chu Chu Chi, he gave that pair of daggers to Guo Jing's parents and the parents of Yang Kang as presents. Okay, one dagger says Yang Kang, and the other dagger says Guo Jing. All right. So Guo Jing used the Yang Kang dagger to kill her husband Copper Corpse a long time ago. Okay, so she probably mad. She mad. And that's where we left off. How's that? All right. You all ready? This is Chapter 10, Part 2. Okay. Okay. Let's see how this goes. Remember, we have a pretty bad translator. Crossing my fingers. Okay. So she pulls out the dagger and he reads the characters Yang Kang, but he's like, he doesn't know, he doesn't recognize it, right? Guo Jing doesn't. While he was hesitating, the woman clamped his hand to grab the dagger as she shouted, "You recognize this dagger, do you not?" If Guo Jing were more quick-witted and heard how sad and shrill her voice sounded, he would have felt compelled to turn his head and look at her. Instead, he thought only of the other's kindness in saving his life. This person came to save my life. Certainly, that means she is a good person. Therefore, he was not the least bit suspicious, as he immediately replied, "Ah, yes, when I was young, I once used this dagger to kill an evil man. That evil man suddenly disappeared, along with the precious dagger." He just admitted to it. Oh no. As he spoke, he felt his neck tighten suddenly, suffocating him. In the midst of danger, he bent his arm and pushed it backwards, but his wrist was held by that woman's outstretched left hand. The woman later relaxed her right arm, allowing her body to fall so that she was sitting on the ground, as she shouted, "Who do you think I am?" Guo Jing was throttled by her earlier, making him see stars in his vision, so it took him a moment to recover. Afterwards, he looked down, only to glimpse through her shawl of long hair The face, like white paper, was precisely the face of the iron corpse, of the twin corpses of the dark winds, Mei Chao Feng. Bum bum bum. Frightened out of his wits, he lifted his left hand to struggle, but with her fingers digging into his flesh, how could he escape? In his mind was confusion. How come? Why did she save my life? It can't be. But she really is Mei Chao Feng. Mei Chao Feng sat on the ground, her right hand clutching Guo Jing's neck, her left holding his wrist. For more than 10 years, she had been searching for the man who killed her husband, and now, suddenly, he was here. Ah, what a coincidence. Is it the work of Zhe Hanzi? Thief Man. Okay. Apparently, it's Mei Chao Feng's pet name for Chun Xuan Feng, her husband. From below, to have that person die in my hands? Oh, this is her talking. In her heart, she was delighted beyond measure, but this was quickly overcome by grief, as past events of her life, no matter how much she fought it, came in brief flashes. She thought, I was once an innocent young girl who played and joked around all day. My parents treated me as their most precious treasure, to which they were very attached. At that time, I was called Mei Ru Hua. However, my unfortunate parents died one after another, forcing me to suffer under an evil person. Shifu Huang Yaoshi rescued me and brought me to Taohua Island, which is Peach Blossom Island. Okay. This is the same island that Huang Rong came from. Okay. So what's their deal? What is their relationship? Where he accepted me into his school. My name was changed to Mei Chao Feng, for each of his disciples all bore the character for wind in each of their names. Under the peach trees I saw rugged-looking youths standing in front of me. One of them picked a bright red peach and gave it to me to eat. That was apprentice brother Chun Xuan Feng. Among Shifu's disciples, he was the second, I was the third. We practiced kung fu together. He often taught me and treated me very well, even though he sometimes scolded me for not studying hard. I knew he was only doing what was good for me. Slowly, as everyone grew up, in my heart, I had him, and in his heart, he had me. One spring evening, when the peach blossoms were turning into a brilliant red under the peach tree, he suddenly embraced me. A blush colored Mei Chao Feng's face, and Guo Jing heard that her laborious breathing had intensified. No. Then she let out a soft, gentle sigh. Mei Chao Feng recalled how she and Chun Xuan Feng secretly married each other and how they feared the Shifu's punishment. When they ran away from the island, her husband told her to steal the second 9-yin scripture. Later, they came to a remote mountain, where they trained hard, but after practicing for half a year, her husband said that he could not understand the true meaning of the text. He wanted to break his head out of frustration. Okay, so they stole the scripture, this martial arts manual. Okay, and they ran away. He wanted to break. That same year, my husband said, "Thief wife," which is his pet name for Mei Chao Feng. We only stole one half of the Chu Yin Jin Qing. That's the 9-yin scripture. The first half of the scripture contains the foundation principles to practice the secret Neigong techniques. The Kung Fu scripture belongs to the Taoist, and what our master taught us is completely different. We can't master this. What do you suggest we do? I said, what choice do we have? He said, return to Taohua Island. How could I dare to go back? Both of our skills had become 10 times stronger, but our master only had to use 2 fingers. Okay, so their master is really powerful. They're already strong, so their master must be super powerful. Hanzu, thief man, was also afraid, but knowing how many wonderful techniques he could not practice at the time, he was willing to die. He had made up his mind to steal the scripture and said, "If we are going to be the unmatched couple under heaven, then thief wife must be prepared to be a widow." I did not wish to be a widow. If one must die, then the other must also die in the same place. And so both of us decided to risk our lives by going back. We found out later that after we ran away, Master, in a great fit of temper, broke the legs of all of his disciples and expelled them from his island. Okay, so this master is kind of a crazy dude. That was why there was only him, his wife, the two of us, and his servants. When we arrived in Taohua Island, we discovered two people engaged in a fight. Master's opponent looked like an expert. The two of them were arguing about the Chu Yin Jun Jing. As they quarreled, one of them opened a move. This is what is it called again? The 9 Yin Scripture. This person was Chen Jin's sect, and although he spoke foolish words, his kung fu was high, arriving at a level which I could not even imagine. But Master, when compared to him, had a better chance of winning. Witnessing this martial arts duel only served to frighten us out of our wits. I said quietly, "Thief man, we are inferior. Let's get away." But he was not willing. We watched as Master grabbed his opponent, forcing him to take the oath of never voluntarily leaving the island. Remembering that Shifu's wife used to treat me with kindness, I decided to look for her through the window. Who would have thought that all I would see was a mourning hall? Master's wife had passed away. In my heart, I felt very sad. Master's wife always treated me well, but now that she's dead, Master was alone. I really felt sorry for him that time. I couldn't stand it. While I was crying, I suddenly saw near the mourning hall a 1-year-old little girl sitting straight up from a chair and smiling at me. Ah, do we know who this girl is? Who could she be? This girl really looked like my master's wife, so I suppose she was the daughter. Was it because of childbirth that she died? I was thinking this when Master noticed me. He flew from the mourning hall and stepped outside. I was so frightened my feet grew soft and I couldn't move. I heard the girl laughing and calling, "Daddy, hugs!" Her smile was like a flower as she opened her arms towards Master. This girl saved my life. Master feared that she would fall down and so stretched out her hand to grab her. Thief man then pulled me and we both dashed out, snatching the boat, the seawater splashing inside. My heart was thumping so hard, it seemed like it was going to jump out of my throat. Thief man saw Master fighting and had henceforth lost heart. He said, "Not only have we not learned 1/10 of Master's Kung Fu, but with this Chen Jin Master, how can we compare?" I said, "Do you regret it? If the Master can do it, then one day we can also learn this Kung Fu." He said, "If you don't regret, then I do not regret." Thereupon he used the fiercest martial arts method he could find and taught me everything. He said that although this method was heretical, it allowed us to increase our skills. At the beginning, our abilities became astounding, and as we ran amok in Jianghu, we earned the nickname of Twin Corpses of the Dark Winds. That Shin Long who flew through the sky with his axe exorcising evil spirits. It was Thief Man who killed him. Or what? Wait, was it Thief Man who killed him? Or was it I? My memory is not so clear as to who killed, but all is the same in any case. One day, we were practicing in the temple ruins, the destroying heart palm, when suddenly from all directions appeared dozens of skilled people. They were led by our fellow apprentice Liu Changfeng. He hated us after Master broke his 2 legs and now gathered a large group of people to help him capture us to give to Master. This boy really thought that he could defeat us. The twin corpses of the dark winds are not that easy to defeat. Though we were able to kill 78 men, whoa, and run away, we were also heavily injured. After several months, we found out that the Chenjin 7 elders were also secretly following us. We did not want to fight the opponents all at once because there were too many, so thereupon we left the central plains until we reached the Mongolian prairies. Thief Man was worried that people would steal the Taoist scripture. He told me not to look. I did not know where he hid it. Good, Thief Man. I don't know where to find it. Thief girl? Thief woman? Thief woman, I will be good to you. I'll take care of you and teach you everything except the Taoist Neigong. If we force it, we could harm our bodies. All right. What are you waiting for? Thereupon, we continue to practice the 9 yin white bone claw and the Tui Jin Jiang, whatever that is. He said these 2 techniques were heretical and fierce, but did not require one to learn Neigong. Suddenly, one evening, in that stark mountainside, the 7 freaks of Qiangnan attacked me. My eye! My eye! The pain was burning from the toxins. I crawled on the ground, scratching my eyes. I did not die, but my eyes were blinded, and my husband dead. That was retribution for that time when we once killed that blind Kujan-U's elder brother and blinded his eyes. As Mei Xiaofeng thought about this painful matter, both her hands tightened instinctively, creating a noise as she grinded her teeth. Guojing felt like the bones in his left hand were going to break, and secretly complained. This is not good. How do I know what kind of vicious technique she's going to use to kill me? Then he said, Hey, I don't know what you want to do, but I want to ask you something. Please agree. Mei Xiaofeng said coldly, You want to ask me something? Guojing said, Yes. I have several medicines, and I ask you to be generous. Please, take away some of these and give it to Taoist Elder Wang in the Prosperity Inn outside the city. When Mei Xiaofeng did not answer and continued to stare blankly at him, why would she do? Guojing said, Do you agree? Many thanks to you. Mei Xiaofeng said, Many thanks what? All my life, I've never done any good deed. She could not call to mind how much pain she suffered in her life, nor could she recall how many people she had killed. But that night on the barren hill, she remembered clearly. My surroundings suddenly went black, and I could not see even the stars. Thief Man said, I have failed. The Taoist scripture is hidden in my chest. These were his last words. Suddenly, a heavy rain began to pour, and the 7 freaks of Qiangnan began fiercely attacking me. I was hit in the back by a palm. This person's internal strength was profound. The pain from this hit reached my bones. I carried Thief Man's corpse and escaped, descending the mountain, even though I could not see. They did not pursue me, which was really strange. The rain became heavier, and the night had grown pitch dark. They could not see me. I dashed around wildly in the rain. Thief Man's body was at first hot, but afterwards it gradually turned cold. My heart also turned cold with each passing minute. I was shaking all over. I was very cold. Thief Man, are you really dead? Even with your fierce kung fu, How could you die so inexplicably? Who killed you? I drew out a dagger from his stomach, causing the blood to spurt. What caused this? Murdered people certainly bleed, but I did not know how many people I murdered. I must die with Thief Man. No one else will call him Thief Man. In the netherworld, he would be lonely. Yeah, he needs someone to call him Thief Man. He'd be way too lonely if not for that. I placed the dagger through my throat and prepared to slice, when suddenly I traced two characters on the dagger handle. The characters? Yang Kang. The killer must be this person named Yang Kang. How can I not exact revenge? If I don't kill this Yang Kang first, how can I die? Thereupon I went through Thief Man's pockets, searching for the secret Taoist scripture. But even though I searched his whole body, I was not able to find a trace of it. I must find it. I started from his hair, not missing an inch, until suddenly I was feeling the skin on his chest. I felt something strange. As she came to this thought, she was unable to restrain bitter laughter from coming out of her throat. She said, after careful investigation, I found that tattooed on his chest was the Nine Yin scripture. You were afraid that someone would steal this from you, and you tattooed this on your body so it won't be taken away. Yes, like Master's martial arts teachings, someone could also steal the Taoist scripture from us, so you came up with a way that it can't be stolen. Your idea is a person comes, after he is gone, everything goes with him. Or something like that. I used the dagger to cut your chest. I must hand this skin so it won't rot. Oh my god. I will keep it with me all the time. Oh my god. So it will be like you are accompanying me forever. I was not sad anymore. Yeah, that's one way to do it. When I laugh, people are usually frightened, even though I was smiling. I used both hands to dig a pit in the ground to bury you inside. You taught me the Jiu Yin Bai Gu Zhua before. I used this technique to dig your grave. I hid in the cave, afraid that the 7 freaks of Jiangnan would find me. Romantic? It's very romantic, yeah. Yeah. He's with her forever, guys. What more could she want? One of your friends read a translation where it wasn't engraved on his skin? Oh. Do you think this is a correct translation? She's a female equivalent of Norman Bates. She's pretty psycho. At that time, I was not their match, but after some practice, I could grab each of their hearts. Was it really dangerous to practice the Taoist Neigong? It would cause serious injuries, but I was not afraid to die. Only, what sort of injury? I must perfect my Kung Fu in the shortest time. It must have been some divine intervention that Thief Man tattooed the Taoist scripture on his body, or with my blind eye, what use would the written words have? Wait, so it's tattooed on his skin, but she's blind. How can she read the tattooed words? Was it carved on his skin? You think it must be scars rather than tattoos? Yeah. Was it? It must have been carved, right? Braille. He wrote it in Braille. That'd be funny. It must be carved because it can't be tattooed. But he's pretty crazy then. Instead of tattooing it on his chest, he actually carved it on his chest. Why? Why would you need to do that? Is it spelled Braille or Braille? The second one. Spelled Braille. Like, I figure if I were to tattoo a martial arts manual on my body, I would, well, if I were to put it on my body, I would tattoo it. I wouldn't carve it for no reason. Yeah, just in case his wife goes blind. Okay, anyways, so apparently he carved it. All these years, even when he was playing with me, he never removed his clothing on his upper body. Now I know it was for this. Really? When she thought about this, her face burned, and she released a long sigh. What is it? Thief man, can you see me from the netherworld? If you married a female ghost and made it your wife, then we do not have forever. They both seem nuts, so it's a great match. Yeah, true. Real question, how would he read it if it's on his chest? He can go to a pool of water and just take off his clothes and you can read it. Easy. No way he's reading that all backwards in a mirror. Maybe he carved it backwards. The words are backwards. He thought about this, guys. Yeah, I don't think we should underestimate him. 2 days passed. I was very hungry when suddenly I heard a large army on horseback pass by the hole. From their dialect, I found out they were from the Jin dynasty. I came out and asked them for something to eat. The leader of the army saw my pitiful state and decided to give me shelter, bringing me all the way to the palace. Afterwards, I discovered that he was actually the sixth son of the Jin Emperor, Prince Zhao. I swept the ground in the back gardens for them, but in the evening I secretly trained. Such was that I was able to practice for several years, and no one noticed anything. They only thought of me as a pitiful, blind, married woman. One evening, oh, that mischievous young prince, he went looking for birds' eggs in the garden at midnight without telling anyone. I did not see him, but he saw me practicing with my silver whip and thereupon coerced me into teaching him. I taught him 3 moves, and he learned them. He was really intelligent. Pleased with his progress, I also passed on to him the Jiu Yin White Bone Claw and pushed the heart palm. I wanted him to take the oath of not telling anyone. Oath of secrecy? The oath of not telling anyone. Not even the prince or the princess. If he divulged it to anyone, I told him that I would capture him, break his bones, and send his soul to heaven. Young Prince had practiced kung fu, and his foundation was not low. He said that, Master, I also have another male master. This person is not good. I do not like him. I only like you as my master. I will never reveal to him that you are teaching me. He can't compare to you. His kung fu teachings are not effective. Okay. Yeah, so she taught young Kang. Right? Or no, wait. She taught Prince Zhao. Wait. You see the master? I also have another male master. No, this is Yang Kang, right? Because Because I remember that Yang Kang also used kind of a claw technique. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so when they say young prince, this is the son of the prince. Okay, yeah, so this is Yang Kang. Yeah, so this is his secret master. Bum bum bum. She's been teaching him this whole time. The young prince knew how to flatter. His male master was definitely not incompetent, but I only asked that he did not tell him that he was studying kung fu with me, and I in turn would not question him about his master. Several years passed, and the young prince said that the prince, okay, this is the prince, would be the Prince Zhao, wanted to go to Mongolia. I asked the prince to allow me to go there with him to offer sacrifice for my husband's grave. The young prince said to me that the prince agreed. The prince doted on him very much, and whatever he asked, he agreed. Okay. So Yang Kang is super spoiled because of Prince Zhao. Oh, even if I couldn't find Thief Man's bones, I kept the skin from his flesh next to my own skin all day and all night. So romantic, guys. Also, why would I offer a sacrifice to his grave? I aimed to find the 7 freaks of Jiangnan for revenge. But my luck was not good, because the 7 elders of Tianjin were unexpectedly all in Mongolia. My eyes could not see. How could I match these 7 people? She was totally tricked. You guess Prince Zhao is a nice father, at least? Well, it seems like he spoiled this guy and turned him into a brat. That son of the red sun. Ma Yu's internal strength was profound. Even though he spoke without effort, his voice was able to travel far. But my going to Mongolia was not in vain, because that Ma Yu was asked by me right in his face, what, how, why? And he passed on to me some negong, some internal energy, secrets. Yeah, she did get some secrets. After I came back to the palace, I went to the tunnel to practice diligently. Oh, this internal strength could not be completed without guidance. 2 days ago, I was fiercely practicing, leaning on one thigh and vigorously dashing, when suddenly my chi arrived at my hip area. I could not move it back up. Oh, she's having some trouble. Yeah, because remember her husband said not to practice this Taoist martial arts. In light of this, the lower part of my body suffered seriously. If the young prince did not look for me, how would he know that I had an accident while practicing martial arts? Or if this Guo boy did not rush in here, I would have starved to death in that tunnel. It's Thief Man's ghost that sent him here to rescue me, so I could kill him to avenge him. Ha 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 ha. As Mei Chaofeng laughed madly, her whole body shook, and her right hand suddenly made an effort to grab Guo Jing's neck. Guo Jing sensed the danger to his life at this critical moment and tried to turn her hand the wrong side up by grasping her wrist, using his external strength. Ma Yu's orthodox school teachings were practiced by him for several years, so his internal strength was not weak. Mei Chaofeng could not hold her fierce grip, and she felt her hand being turned the wrong side up, forcing it open. Startled, she thought, "This boy's kung fu is not bad." Even hit 3 times, Guo Jing applied all his strength in that palm of hand. In that palm of hand? In that palm. Mei Chaofeng cried loud and long, lifting her palm to hit him. She was using her Destroying Heart palm unique skill. Guo Jing's level of skill and hers differed too much to begin with, and his left was held firmly by her. How could he move to gain an opening? but he had to exert himself to overcome her strength, lifting his right hand to block. Mei Chaofeng raised her hand to meet his, but only to feel her arm shake. She changed her mind at that moment as she considered, I practiced Neigong without anyone to guide me, so that it resulted in a serious illness where my lower body could not move. Wait, at all? Is that permanent? Oh shit. I heard him say a moment ago that Ma Yu taught him the Chenjin sect Neigong. Then it would be convenient if I forced him to tell me the secrets. How could I kill him to avenge thief man and only pick his brain later? Fortunately, this boy has not died yet. At that moment, she returned her hand again to grasp Guo Jing's neck and said, You killed my husband. How can you still expect to live? But if you listen to what I have to say, then I'll let you die quickly. If you're stubborn, I will let you experience suffering and misery. I'll start with your finger, biting and chewing it until everything is eaten. Damn. She had an accident, resulting in her lower body paralysis. Afterwards, she was starving for days, so when she said that she wanted to eat Guo Jing's finger, it was not just idle talk to intimidate him. Yeah, she actually wants to eat him. She's turning crazier and crazier. Guo Jing felt a shiver as he watched her open mouth, showing several white teeth. He did not dare say a word. At least she brushes. Mei Chaofeng asked, Ma Yu taught you how to sit while meditating. How is it done? Guo Jing then understood. Originally, she thought I would teach her Neigong. Then later, she will go after my 6 masters to harm them. Even if I die now, how can I let this jealous woman increase her skill and harm my 6 masters? He shut his mouth and did not answer immediately. Mei Chaofeng's left hand tightened, and Guo Jing felt the pain and the biting cold. But he had made up his mind, so that he said, You want to obtain the orthodox Neigong. Give up the idea while it's still early. Mei Chaofeng saw that he was tough and unyielding, so she loosened her hands to let him go, as she said softly, I promise you that I will take the medicine to Wang Chu Yi and save his life. Oh. Guo Jing felt a shiver of cold. Ah, this is an important change. It's good that the lower part of her body cannot move. My 6 masters have no need to fear her. Thereupon he said, All right, you make an oath, and I in return will pass on to you the training methods. Oh no! Is he gonna cure her? Mei Chaofeng was extremely happy and said, Surname of Guo, the stinky boy with the surname of Guo, said that he will teach me the Chenjin sect Neigong methods. If I, Mei Chaofeng, do not deliver the medicine to Wang Chu Yi, may my entire body lose its movement and forever endure misery. Well, she could still deliver the medicine to Wang Chu Yi, and then she could just kill him. Chewing on a finger would be like eating chicken feet. Not much meat. Well, a lot of people like eating chicken feet. Not me. I can't do it. Oh wait, give me a second. Imagine hanging out and one day Mei Chaofeng shows up with medicine for you. Yeah, not a good day. Who likes eating chicken feet? Who likes that chicken feet dish, the Chinese dish, huh? Does anyone in chat like that dish? Are you saying she should bite his butt instead? As soon as she said this, suddenly to her left, some 10 jang in front of the palace, a person scolded, "Stinky boy, come out here and die." Doesn't sound tasty. Oh. Chicken feet dish. Yeah, here it is. Ooh, yum, 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 yum. Yeah, yeah. How's this? Yum. Yeah, a lot of different dishes. Look. Yum. How about this? Ooh. Yeah, I can't do it. Not tasty to me, guys. When Guojing heard the voice, he recognized it as the three-headed dragon Ho Tong Hai. Okay. Another one said, "Surely this small girl is nearby. I'm relieved she can't run away." The same time that the two people were talking, they were also walking away. Yang Kang would love those. Guojing was startled. Wrong had not yet left and allowed them to track her trail. Changing his intentions, he turned to Mei Chaofeng and said, "You still need to do one more thing. Otherwise, no matter what you force me to endure, I won't tell you the secret." Mei Chaofeng got angry. "What is this other thing you have? I don't agree." I don't agree. Guojing said, "I have a good friend, a young girl. The group of experts from the palace are chasing her. You must rescue her and bring her out of danger." Mei Chaofeng grunted and said, "How should I know where she is? If you want me to do it, then quickly tell me the Negong's secret." Her arm immediately tightened. Guojing felt his throat constrict, causing him great alarm. However, he was still unyielding and said, "Rescue? You said, did not say." Having no other alternative, Mei Chaofeng said, "All right, then I'm depending on you. But don't think that Mei Chaofeng does things to please others. Today is the exception, you stinky boy. This young girl is your sweetheart. You're really full of affection, but dumb. We made a deal. I'm only doing my part. I have agreed to rescue your sweetheart out of danger, but I haven't consented to sparing your life." Guojing heard her agree and was glad. Then he raised his voice and called out, "Wronger, come here! Wronger!" Just after calling twice, suddenly Huang Rong's figure appeared from behind some rose shrubs nearby. She said, "I'm already here." Guojing was delighted. "Wronger, quickly, come. She agreed to help you. The others can't harm you now." Huang Rong had been listening to Guojing and Mei Xiaofeng for some time behind the rose shrubs. She heard how he never gave a thought to his own life and never forgot about her safety. In her gratitude, 2 drops of tears rolled down her cheeks as she shouted at Mei Qiaofeng, "Mei Ruhua, let him go." Mei Ruhua was Mei Qiaofeng's name before her master changed it. This translator is not consistent. Before it was Shifu, now it's the word master. No one in Jianghu knew, and for dozens of years, she had not heard these 3 characters uttered by anyone. However, today it was being shouted by this person. Yeah. Remember, Huang Rong is the daughter of Mei Qiaofeng's master. Greatly startled, she asked, Who are you? All right. Good time for a break, I think. All right. 5 minutes. I'll be right back. All right. We are back. So I just found out that the candy that I had was roasted soybean. That was the flavor. It's pretty good. Roasted soybean powder. All right. Hong Rong said clearly, "The peach blossom shade leaves behind the divine sword. The jade ocean current gives life to the jade flute. I am surnamed Huang." Mei Chaofeng was even more startled and could only stammer, "You, you, you." Hong Rong called out, "You what?" "The East China Sea, Taohua Island snapping finger, the pure sound of the cave, the green bamboo forest, the trowel sword pavilion. You also remember?" Mei Chaofeng knew these places during her discipleship. Okay, that's the first time I heard of that word. Her discipleship. And when she heard them mentioned now, suddenly a thought came to her, and she asked, "Taohua Island Huang, Master Huang, is, what is he to you?" Hong Rong said, "Right. Since you have not forgotten my father, he has not forgotten you, too. He is coming to look for you." Mei Chaofeng only wanted to turn around and flee, but how could she move her foot even one step? Frightened and shocked out of her wits, she could only clench her teeth, making a grating noise. She did not know what to do. Hong Rong called out, "Quickly, release him." Mei Chaofeng suddenly remembered. Master swore that he would never leave Taohua Island. How could he be here? It was only because of this that I and Thief Man stole the 9 Yin manual. He had taken an oath. He had taken an oath and could not leave the island to pursue. This person is trying to deceive me. I won't let myself get confused. When Huang Rong saw her hesitate, her left foot pointed downwards as she leapt up 10 feet and successively executed 2 half circles before soaring into the air and wielding a palm towards Mei Chaofeng's head, intending to hit her. It was precisely the fallen hero divine sword palm, a center move of the River Town Flying Blossom. She called out, "My father taught you this move. Have you forgotten?" Mei Chaofeng heard the noise of the air rustling around her, but she kept still, her suspicion still in place, though she raised her hand and softly called out, "Shime," which means a prince's sister. "Have you spoken with master?" Hong Rong let her body drop, using one hand to pull and then drag Guo Jing to her side. Originally, Hong Rong was the Taohua Island master Huang Yaoshu's only daughter. Before giving birth to her, her mother had a turn for the worse, which caused her to be physically and mentally exhausted, leading to her death after a difficult labor. Huang Yaoshu had a fit afterwards, expelling all his disciples from the island, leaving only the father and the daughter alone there. Huang Yaoshu was called Dong Xie, or the Eastern Heretic, because of his peculiarity of conduct. He often said that the etiquette and customs of the world were all nonsense. His love for his daughter was excessive, and he naturally did nothing to control her, thus allowing her to become arrogant and willful. Although she was intelligent, she was not willing to focus her mind on learning martial arts. Her father was actually very proficient in the yin yang five lines, learning these methods from several classics. She was able to learn when she was very young, but even though her father had already reached a divine level, she was nevertheless unable to go beyond the Taohua Island martial arts basics. One day, she was playing in the island when she came upon her father's enemy imprisoned in the cave. Feeling lonely, she conversed with that person, talking for almost half a day. The person's words were interesting to her, so that she often returned, seeking him out only to speak with him, finding relief in that exercise. Afterwards, Master Huang Yaoshu found out and reproached her severely. Huang Rong had never been beaten or scolded by her father, so she reacted with anger and self pity. Her cunning and unreasonable temperament manifested itself suddenly, and she took the boat to escape Taohua Island, thinking that no one cared for her there. Okay. After her father scolds her one time, she's like, can't deal with this. And she runs away. Thus, she cut all wish for it and disguised herself as a poor, miserable youth, going in all directions, dissolute, though in her heart she was still with her father. She thought angrily, "Since you don't love me, then I will make the world feel most pitiful for a young beggar." Okay, the translator is not sure about this, so he gives us the actual text. Okay. So if I can read the text, I wouldn't need a translator in the first place. However, she did not expect to meet Guo Jing in Zhangjiakou. At first, she went to the wine shop with him to spend his money and cause a disturbance, intending to lay on him her resentment towards her father. Who would have thought that he would be so dumb, with no idea at all, talking with her as though they were old friends, and even giving her his horse, showing his concern. She was bitter and lonely, thinking about how she deceived him, but he continued to treat her honestly. She was touched. Since then, the two of them became good friends. Huang Rong once listened to her father speak about Chun Xuanfeng and Mei Chaofeng's affair in great detail, and because of this, she learned about Mei Chaofeng's maiden name and the lines, "The peach blossom leaves behind the divine sword, the jade green sea gives life to the jade flute," which was the heretical couplet that hung inside the sword trial pavilion, and which embodied the principles of Huang Yaoshu's Wugong. What's Wugong? Every Taohua Island disciple knew this. Since she knew that her Wugong could not rival Mei Chaofeng's, she then lied and told her that her father was coming. As a result, Mei Chaofeng was frightened into releasing Guo Jing. Is Wugong martial arts? She thought, if master is indeed coming, how will I know that he won't kill me? She remembered that Huang Yaoshu had a ruthless nature, and his methods were mean. They're very mean. She could not stop her face from going ashen and her whole body from shaking, as though Huang Yaoshu, his face grim, was already standing in front. Her whole body became limp. It was as though she had lost her kung fu skills, as she bent on the ground and shakingly said, "Disciples' many sins make her deserving of death, but I beseech Master to take pity, because my 2 eyes are blind and my lower body is handicapped. Please grant disciple leniency, even though disciple is no better than a swine or a dog." Wugong is kung fu. Gotcha. Martial arts. So the words say, "Since you don't love me, then I'll just become the most pitiful little beggar under the sky." Gotcha. Then she remembered how Huang Yaoshu used to treat her with favor. Fearing that his heart had changed, her bosom was filled with shame. and she said, "No, master does not need to be lenient. Punish me severely." The whole time Guojing was with her, she always appeared to be fierce, her manners evil. Even when faced with a great enemy, or when climbing up that steep precipice, she remained unfazed, as though nothing mattered. However, when Huang Rong mentioned her father, her whole person unexpectedly changed, which he thought was very strange. Huang Rong was secretly laughing as she pulled Guojing by the hand and led him towards the wall outside. But before they could leap over the wall to escape, they were stopped by a clear voice. A person came, chuckling softly, his hand holding a folding fan. He laughed. "Ha ha 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 ha! Daughter, I'm not certain you can manage to climb that." Huang Rong saw that it was Ouyang Ke. She knew his kung fu skills and knew that it would be difficult to get past him. So she immediately turned to Mei Chaofeng and said, "Mei Shizi," which means elder martial sister Mei, "father is always willing to listen to me. I can ask a favor for you, but first you have to do something meritorious so father can forgive you." Mei Chaofeng asked, "What merit?" Huang Rong said, "There's a bad person who wants to bully me. I will pretend to go along, but you won't allow the enemy to strike or beat me. Once father comes and see you helping me, he'll be pleased." Mei Chaofeng heard that her younger apprentice sister was willing to ask her father for a favor. Her spirit was revived. While they spoke, 4 of Ouyang Ke's concubines arrived. Ouyang Ke didn't call her daughter. He said girl. Okay, yeah. Seemed kind of weird that he said daughter. Huang Rong dragged Guojing behind Mei Chaofeng to avoid getting in the way, only waiting for Mei Chaofeng or Ouyang Ke to open moves and take the opportunity to sneak off. Ouyang Ke saw Mei Chaofeng sitting on the ground, her hair disheveled and her whole body covered with dark skin. She was clutching tightly the upper part of her bosom. Opening his folding fan lightly, he moved forward to catch Huang Rong, when suddenly he felt a force heading towards his chest. He looked down to find the woman on the ground stretching out her hand to grab him. He had never encountered such a level of strength in one stance before. Shocked, he hastily struck towards her wrist with his fan, and at the same time leapt away. He heard a scoff, "Kala," and loud successive cries. Oh no, the 4 girls. The front piece of Ouyang Ke's jacket was torn, his fan broken into 2, and his 4 concubines collapsed to the ground. He took a quick look around and saw that all 4 women had been violently killed. Their spirits left their bodies as soon as they were hit. The tops of their heads were covered in blood, and brain matter gushed out of the 5 holes at the center. Oh, she used her claw hand thing. Wow, that's more explicit than I thought. The brain is oozing out. The swiftness and viciousness of the move was extremely rare. Ouyang Ke was surprised and angry at the same time when he saw the woman still sitting motionless as though paralyzed. His fear was lessened, and he quickly launched into a stance passed on by his family, the divine camel snowy mountain palm. His body floated as his palm prepared to attack. Mei Chaofeng's 10 fingers were sharp, each one poised to grab him and squeeze the air out of him while she sneered. How could Ouyang Ke dare to get close? Huang Rong pulled Guojing so they could walk away, when suddenly they heard a mad roar coming from behind. Ho Tonghai's 2 fists headed towards them. Huang Rong leaned slightly to one side. When Ho Tonghai saw this, he aimed for her shoulders, feeling pleased with himself. His blunt brain did not calculate fast enough, and it was then that he abruptly remembered that she was wearing the prickly soft hedgehog armor. He gave out a loud cry, hastily withdrawing his 2 fists, clapping both before hitting his own forehead above the 3 bumps, only to yell out in pain. Where else could he grab her besides her hair? Ouyang-ku's palm move doesn't sound very strong. What, you don't like the divine camel? Snowy mountain palm? At that moment, Sha Tongtian, Liang Zuwang, and Peng Lianhu all rushed in. Liang Zuwang saw Ouyang-ku engage in a dangerous fight, his long gown torn and ragged, and realized that this woman was the same one who pretended to be a ghost in the tunnel. Roaring angrily, he went forward to attack. Rawr! Sha Tongtian and the others saw Mei Chaofeng's stances were fierce. They were all astonished, and so decided to keep close guard, waiting for the first opportunity to attack. They thought, where does this woman's high wugong come from? Peng Lianghu watched, and after figuring it out, he shouted, "The twin corpses of the dark winds!" Huang Rong's body moved swiftly, first hiding to the east before flashing to the west. How could Ho Tonghai grab her hair? Huang Rong saw that his hands were always aiming for the top of her head, so was able to surmise his real intention. She darted towards the rose bushes and hid behind it. Then she used a piece of metal and stuck some thorns around it before inserting it around her head. Oh, she moves fast. Afterwards, she poked her head out and called, "I'm over here." Ho Tonghai was greatly pleased, sending out a hand to grab the top of her head. As he said, "This time you can't get away, smelly boy." Ah-ya-ya. Zhige, the smelly boy's head also has thorns. Thorns. His palm had been punctured by the metal tips, causing him to jump out in pain. This guy is just comic relief. Hong Rong laughingly said, "Hey, your head has 3 horns. It's not fair. I only have 1 horn. Let's do this again." Ho Tonghai called out, "If you don't come, then you can't come again." Sha Tongtian scolded, "Do not shout." He then hurried over to his side to help. By that time, Mei Chaofeng was engaging 2 masters who were attacking together. Suddenly, she sent her arm back to grab Guo Jing's chest, calling out, "Hold my legs!" Guo Jing did not understand what she meant, but he wanted to help her fight the 2 powerful enemies. At her words, he immediately bent down and grabbed her legs. Mei Chaofeng used her left hand to resist Ouyang-ku's palm, while her right hand thrust towards Liang Zuwang. She said to Guo Jing, "Carry me to chase after that old man Liang." Guo Jing suddenly understood. Originally, her body cannot move. She wants me to help her. Thereupon, he placed Mei Chaofeng on his shoulders, according to her instructions, and hurried after the fleeing enemy. His body had strong kung fu basis, and Mei Chaofeng's body was not heavy, so even though she was on his shoulders, it did nothing to diminish his speed. He quickly leapt, and Mei Chaofeng soared along with him. Okay, the translator is not sure about these next few paragraphs. Mei Chaofeng did not forget about the Neigong secret, so even though she was facing the enemy, she also asked, "To practice Neigong, how is it done?" Oh no, he's teaching her. Guo Jing replied, "Sit cross-legged, 5 hearts facing the heaven." Mei Chaofeng asked, "What are the 5 hearts facing the heaven?" 2 hands, 2 feet, and the head all become 5 hearts. Mei Chaofeng was delighted, and her spirits rose. She reached out to brush her shoulders with the shoulders of Liang Zuwang, whose blood jumped as he started and ran away. Guo Jing was about to chase after him when suddenly the Dragon King Sha Tongtian ran in front of him to help his apprentice brother capture Huang Rong. Startled, he hastily carried Mei Chaofeng towards them, shouting, "First, let's take care of these 2. Mei Chaofeng stretched out her left arm, heading towards Ho Tonghai. Ho Tonghai anxiously withdrew, trying to dodge. Who would have thought Mei Chaofeng's arm would be so violent, as though it had the strength of an ape? Although Ho Tonghai's dodging was quick, her arm was still able to follow his body, grabbing him, the fingers of her right hand already digging into him. Ho Tonghai's entire body went numb. He could no longer move. He shouted, "Spare my life! Spare my life! I have surrendered." All right. Cool. And that's the chapter. How do you guys like that? What did we learn this chapter? We learned that Huang Rong is actually the daughter of the master of the Peach Blossom Island. Okay. Yeah. And Mei Chaofeng and her husband, they were also in the same sect. Mei Chaofeng is scary. A little bit, yeah. It's getting juicy. Wait, the character there doesn't mean heart. It means center. Gotcha. Yeah, so Mei Chaofeng and her husband were in the same sect. Okay, and apparently they stole his martial arts manual and ran away. And he got super mad and he broke all the legs of his disciples on the island. Okay, and then when his wife gave birth, she died from childbirth. And he dismissed all of his disciples, kicked them all out of his island. So only he and his daughter were on the island. And then she leaves. So apparently he is the only one on the island. Haven't we seen someone else with broken legs? Wait. Who has broken legs? Wait, who has broken legs? I forgot. Have to try to remember. Okay. So Kujan had broken legs. Wait, did he? Does he? No, he doesn't. Does he? Wait. No, he didn't. He's just blind. Needed a cane to walk. Was kind of an inconsequential character a while back. Okay. I seem to remember someone with broken legs. Okay, cool. Yeah, so it looks like the master of the Peach Blossom Island is super strong, okay? Super powerful. Okay. That was fun. I liked it. Blind, broken legs, same thing. Oops. All right. Cheers, guys. All right. That was fun. Next chapter should be even more fun. I'm looking forward to it. All right, guys. Thanks for joining. I love you. And I will see you next time. Bye.